Today we are going to tackle one of the biggest questions you can possibly ask. What if God never existed at all?
And I'm not talking about different ideas about God. I mean, a total absence. Imagine a universe that's just here. What would it actually be like to live in a reality with no creator, no one behind the curtain?
Well, first off, it would mean there's no creator, no divine mind, no grand design. The thinkers we're looking at today would call this a cosmic accident, just a blind product of matter, time, and chance.
And following from that, there's no judge. Think about that for a second. No ultimate accountability. In this world, there's no final court of appeals beyond us. So every single injustice that slips through the cracks of our systems, well, it just stays that way. Forever.
And finally, it would mean there's no savior, no ultimate hope for redemption, no rescue from our own flaws, and absolutely no promise that everything will be made right in the end. It's a pretty stark picture, isn't it? So let's spend the next few minutes really digging into what it would actually mean to live in that kind of reality.
All right, so where does this thought experiment take us first? Well, according to the sources we're pulling from, the most immediate consequence of a godless universe is the collapse of any ultimate meaning or purpose for our lives. The philosopher William Lane Craig, he puts it pretty bluntly. He says, without a creator, we're not creations. We're just accidents. You live for a few decades on this tiny little planet, and then you're gone. In the grand scheme of things, our lives would have zero inherent purpose.
And this is where you really see the two paths diverge, right? On one side, you're a biological accident in a universe that's just going to burn out, where nothing you do ultimately matters. But on the other side, you're part of a story. You're created with intention, where, as the Bible puts it, your labor is not in vain.
This feeling, it's not new. The ancient book of Ecclesiastes actually explored this exact idea, life under the sun. And what that means is life looked at from a purely earthly perspective, without God in the picture. The conclusion? It's all vanity, which is a beautiful way of saying it's like trying to catch the wind. A beautiful, maybe, but totally futile pursuit.